If you like to drive around and talk about the latest happenings, this is the channel you need. So subscribe and follow Carmentary.
What's up, everybody? It's Carmentary. Neil here with you, driving in my van. Gonna talk about some stuff. Today I want to talk about the solo exhibition that I have put together and started today, February the 11th, 2023, and it goes on until February the 23rd, 2023. This is the first photographic and video exhibition installation I have done in a long time. I received an invitation from Sony store in Sapporo. They have a gallery on the second floor. It's called Alpha Gallery or something. Alpha Plaza. Terrible name for the gallery. They love the word plaza, and I'm not trying to shit on the word plaza. Plaza is a good word, but it just doesn't sound as cool when you're like Alpha Plaza. Anyway, they have a gallery on the second floor. I am showcasing a total of 25 photos and a video movie that I put together. Everything was filmed and shot from very late December 2022, but most of the photos and most of the video was done in January of this year. So it's all like really fresh, new footage. I put together a 25-minute movie that plays on the Sony Bravia monitor, beautiful 4K TVs they have there. The 75-inch TV, I believe, sells for $4,000. It's a nice TV. So we got that. The photo prints are fantastic. I am extremely happy with the way they turned out. That is my first and most important comment that I wanted to make. I have been taking photographs and making money from photography and videography for close to 30 years now. I've always struggled with photo gallery exhibitions. I haven't done many, to be honest with you. I've done a couple group shows. There was one in Tokyo, there was one up here. We did a little bit of a photo exhibition and a sale last fall in Parco, one of the stores here in Sapporo. I did the one solo exhibition of some of my photos, and I also sold, like, at the same time we did like a flea market with, I sold records. This is, I mean, we're talking like 25 years ago. So it's always been tough, and the main issue, it's monetary is one, because it costs a lot of money to print the photos, get them framed, rent a space, whatever you have to do, like do this, and then get people to come and see it. There's very little infrastructure for doing photographic gallery kind of shows here in Japan. The other problem is the photographs do not sell. There is this real struggle to get people to buy art pieces and photography in Japan compared to America, Europe, and other, maybe Australia as well, other countries. It's a tough market. So the incentive to spend a lot of money, print photos, frame them, hang them up, get people to come and buy them is very low. If you don't have a return on your investment, it's really tough. So that's one thing. I also, you know, really, the framing part has always been a difficult thing. There's photos I like and photos I want to print, and I want to see them and hang them on my wall. I have some friends who do handmade frames that are really cool and nice, but, you know, again, they're not free. It's tough to get, you know, the design you want. Especially, you know, handmade has a very soft, natural, woody kind of feeling. That works for certain photos. But sometimes you want a more modern, like, you know, sharp metal look or whatever. And then you're gonna have to get on Amazon and go find some random frame that they sell. And the frames here are pretty much a pile of crap. There's a couple major brands. They have the basic sizes, and the basic sizes are for the basic photo print sizes, you know, like your 8x10 or your 4x6 or whatever it is. And sometimes you don't want to do that size. the mats, like they're aluminum in general, kind of, you know, crappy, flimsy, light. So you spend a lot of money on a print, you put it in this sort of mediocre frame, and then it's like, well, what is this really worth? You know, what is this? So I always struggled with that. The cost, the non-satisfactory framing. So when I got the call from Sony Sapporo and they said, hey, we want you to do a winter photo exhibition. For them, the backstory on Sony is that I'm part of their pro support system. You pay like $120 a year. You get a discount when you buy equipment. You get certain coupons and insurance on your gear, and it's a nice little system for pros. I got in that. It's great. I use their cameras and all their lenses, and it's been about 4 or 5 years now. They obviously are always looking for new markets to sell cameras. The Sony store is in a great location in downtown Sapporo, but I'm sure their rent there is not cheap. They need to keep selling cameras, and someone probably said, hey, this whole winter market, outdoor market is kind of exploding. We see some growth there. Who we got can do an exhibition. And they came to me. I shoot the snowboarding, the skiing, the mountains. Great idea. I agree. I'm super stoked that they asked me. I am extremely happy. It's a great opportunity. They've always got someone in there doing an exhibition, and I usually go and check it out when I go to the store. It's a lot of, you know, nature photography, animals, the more recent one that just finished before me was a lady, Ono-san, and she had beautiful, like, textural kind of photos, you know, natural, like bamboo and like gravel and like weird stuff, not weird stuff, but, you know, like just sort of more artistic images. I have that, but I haven't really seen a lot of winter and winter sports stuff. So it's a great opportunity to showcase it. So when they hit me with it, I kind of got a little bit of a kick in the ass. And I said, okay, I got to really step up to this and do something special for them, but more so for me. This is like a real opportunity to like level up and sort of say, hey, I can take great photographs. I can also produce like some beautiful art or like a high quality installation. I didn't want it to just be some frames of generic frames with some photos of people snowboarding on a wall. That is not what I wanted at all. So I put the thinking cap on, let it percolate for a little while. Something bubbled up to the surface, and I ended up going to the printing company that does all our signs and work for our cafe and our stores. Over the last couple of years, they've done a lot of our signage, they've done menu panels, and I know that they had really good quality printing for the photos. They have this wicked Epson printer, like the massive one, huge, takes up a whole room. And they were raving about it, and I had seen the photo quality, and I thought, okay, great. Now, we got the photo quality dialed, we can make great prints. What size, how many, and what do you put them on? So right away I said, screw the frames, no frames. We're just gonna do panels. We're gonna do, you know, borderless print. We're gonna put it on some kind of material that, you know, is stiff, holds the paper, and we're gonna mount that to the wall. In the gallery, their situation is they have these panels, like, I guess they're like freestanding panels that they put in there so that they don't damage the walls of the building they're renting, obviously. And there's metal in there, so you can stick a magnet on it. So they have these like hooks, these magnetic hooks, so you can put the photo anywhere on the panel. Kind of a cool little system. You didn't have to put a hole in there or anything. So I said, great, let's make these panels and we'll put, you know, magnetic tape on the back of it, and we'll just stick it on there. Just like a magnet on your fridge. That was kind of my concept. Then I kind of said, I need structure. I need some kind of format structure so that I can go out and have that in my mind when I take the photos. That to me was really important. I did not just want to go into my hard disks, look for a bunch of old photos I had taken and print them up. I hate that. It just drives me bonkers because you end up spending, you know, days looking through photos going, oh, well, this one or that one, or if I put this one together. So I love to have basically a script. The script of the movie for this was the formatting. So I came up with the idea of doing 9:16 format, large size prints. 9:16 is the size that everybody's used to now with your stupid smartphone. So the smartphone has become the medium that we all look at to enjoy video and photography now. And I think, you know, even for me, I'm not complaining about it. I find it quite comfortable to look at the vertical photo. And I love vertical photos. A lot of magazines and websites will always request landscape, you know, 3x2 or 16:9 size photos. But I really like the vertical, more narrow photo. Especially for skiing and snowboarding. I think in the backcountry, we have a lot of trees here. The trees are very large. To get the tree in the frame, you need to shoot vertical. And I love that kind of frame where you have that long, you know, tree or a mountain or valley or whatever it is, and then a person in there to give you a sense of scale. So that was my concept on the big ones. We did 15 to fit perfectly on these panels they have in the room. And then I also made 4x3 size prints. Now 4x3 is the other aspect ratio that I think we've all become accustomed to. For a few years in the beginning with Instagram, I think the 1:1, basically a square, the square photo kind of really made a comeback. In the old days, that was your medium 6x6, they called it, with the, like on an old Hasselblad or an old film camera. You also had like a 6x7. The old Mamiya film was a little wider on the side. Instagram brought back the square, and then when they updated, they went to a 4x3 size, which is a little taller. It's like that, and a little taller. And I like that size too. It's great for like portraits. It has a good feel. And the cool thing is, with the new Sony cameras, or I suppose other brands too, you can set the aspect ratio in the menu so that when you take the photo, it's already that size. So that's what I decided to do. I decided to go out in the field, set the camera to 9:16, well, excuse me, to 16:9 in the camera, but then you hold the camera vertical. Shoot that for those photos, knowing that they would be used for those panels. And then switch it to 4x3 when I was shooting like lifestyle, portraits, some still life stuff, whatever. And I did that for a couple weeks with pretty much everything I was just doing. Work, you know, tons of work going on, by the way, throughout all this. Regular work, contract work, the store, like photo shoots, like basically I really did not have, I had maybe 2 days that were like non-work, just go out there and shoot with my buddies kind of days. And I did get a bunch of stuff on those days for the show, so that was great. But I also was able to get stuff just in my normal daily routine. So I was able to work it in there, get those settings, go out and shoot stuff. The temperatures were really cold in January. A lot of beautiful mornings with like some, you know, minus 20 degree mornings, cold, diamond dust, sparkling, like a lot of amazing moments. And I was able to capture quite a bit of that. Then it came down to the wire to get the data ready. The backstory on that, it's never easy. It's never easy to really sit down at the end and go, okay, now what photos do we actually print here, and make those hard decisions, because you shoot a couple thousand photos, maybe you like a 50 or 100 of them, and then you have to select the final 25. I did get it to the printers my policy, or what I tried to do with that, was to not do a lot of editing on the computer. And this is just a quick side note that I wanted to talk about. Just, I don't know how you feel about it, but this is my mentality now. I started on film and learned photography through film and then switched to digital. So my brain will always sort of be stuck in the film era of photography. And to me, that means you have a camera, you put on a lens, you decide what you want to take, and you take a photograph. After that, you know, you can do certain things in the printing stage, especially maybe black and white. With color, you know, it's pretty much what it is when it comes out of the camera. And I like that. I have always liked that. I thought that was cool. It's, you know, the other thing is that film that's in the camera it was actually there at the scene of the crime, so to speak. This is, another photographer said this at a show one time, and I thought it was really cool because he was showing slides. And when you put a slide in a slide projector and you put it up on the screen, you know, that little piece of film was actually at the place where you took the photo, right? It's like an actual archival, historical memento of the moment. Whereas with the digital photography, it's just data bytes. You copy it, you put it on a memory stick, a hard disk. It's not the original thing anymore, right? It's just a representation. So that's kind of my mental state. I still like that. And digital photography has truly become a medium where you make photographs. You don't take photographs. You push the shutter button, you get your raw data, and the bigger and better the raw data, the more you have to work with when you get back to your computer. And that's great. It's a whole different mentality, a different style of photography, and totally valid one, great. But I think there are two mindsets there, and I still feel that I am in the wanting to take photographs mentality rather than the wanting to make photographs. I'm doing my best, and I'm really trying to learn and study, and you know, it's a whole new world. You got to get into the weeds and the technical side of things to really understand how to process the data, what you need to do to sharpen it. It's deep. We could go on that for hours and hours. Basically, I thought this time it would be cool, especially for Sony, to showcase that the camera can just take good photographs. You don't have to go back on your computer and spend 4 hours, you know, adjusting the highlights. I really wanted to go straight from the JPEGs and print. In the end, I kind of wimped out on that because I was just a little nervous as to how they would turn out. But I did select the photos from the JPEGs, and then I went to the raw data. I did a basic correction, like an auto correct, which the thing just does, so it makes it look like the JPEG, for those of you who are into that kind of stuff. I did not do like color corrections, white balance, anything except maybe one photo where I had the white balance on the wrong setting, so it looked really weird. I fixed that. And then one photo, I did use a new feature on the Sony R5 camera, which is called focus bracketing, which is a really cool feature. You press the shutter button, you put it on a tripod, you press the shutter button once, and it takes a series of photos adjusting the focus from the closest thing to the furthest section in the photo. You take those home, you combine the photos in your computer, you stack them, and you have a photo that is, you know, perfectly focused through the whole range of the photo. So it's a really cool thing for landscape photography. You can have the trees in the foreground and the mountains far in the back, both in focus, by taking a series of like 5 photos and stacking them. I think that's a really cool feature. So there are definitely things, you know, about making photographs that I do like and do want to use. You know, that I thought that was really cool. So I used that. That's one print. But everything else, basically straight out of the camera. That's what it looked like. And I thought, you know, when I show people the photos and talk to them about it, you know, that could be an encouraging thing people would go, oh, okay, if, you know, that sounds easy. I can buy that camera, take it to the mountain, and get some nice photos. I don't have to go home and be like, why does my photo look like shit? I think it's something that camera makers, Sony, Canon, Nikon, whatever, everyone, you know, chasing the rainbow. Everyone's like the best camera with the biggest data and the fastest sequence speed, and you know, they're all battling to make these amazing cameras. And in some way, I think that's where you're losing a large part of your audience, and people aren't buying the cameras. Well, people are buying their smartphones, and they're feeling like the camera is good enough on the smartphone. It really isn't, by the way. Your smartphone camera sucks. They just make it so it looks really good on the screen. And that's the thing, though. People are satisfied. They want to take a photo, they want to look at it on their screen, and this is me too, and you go, damn, I just took a nice photo. That moment was amazing, and me who captured that moment with my badass little camera, I'm amazing too. I think that's what people want, you know, just like simply make it look good so I can feel good, damn it. And when you spend $6,000 on a camera body, and then you spend you know, another $10,000 on some really nice lenses, and you go shoot and you put the photo on your computer screen, and the raw data kind of looks like shit, you're like, ugh, what did I spend all that money on? My phone looks better. We get it at work too. Like when I go and shoot something like a client job, you're shooting like a food menu or something, and you're taking all these photos with the camera, and you're looking at them on the screen, and everybody's like, and then someone comes up with their, like the chef, he'll usually come up with his phone, and he'll just like take a snapshot, and the phone photo looks way better. It's a bigger screen, super high resolution, like it's bright. You're like, shit, you just ruined our whole thing here. Like, it's frustrating. Sorry, I'm off on a tangent, but that is the long backstory and the mentality behind this solo exhibition. The title is Cold Instincts. I think I screwed up the title. So I don't know what happened. I thought the title was Cold Instinct with just no S, and then when they printed up the flyer, which I have here, I can show you, it had an S on there and it said Instincts, and I was like, did I put Inst? Anyway, I can't even get the name of my own photo exhibition right. Like, it's too much, man. That's the postcard they printed up for it. Very nice. I think a lot of people who listen to the Carmentaries are not in Sapporo, not in Japan. You probably will not be able to come. I did shoot the gallery with my phone yesterday, and maybe I'll add that here on the video so you can kind of see what it looks like and get an idea. That would be nice. So we'll do that. Yeah, I guess that's about it. The movie is just a very simple, kind of ethereal kind of montage of footage that I shot while I was taking all the photos. It doesn't really have a story or anything like that. I did some vlog style video shooting of myself walking around, staying in a hotel in Jozanke, eating nice Japanese dinners, and of course snowboarding footage in there, and then a lot of just beautiful shots of the trees and the mountains and the diamond dust and all those beautiful things. I used a whole variety of video formats. We could do another hour talking about that stuff. I learned a lot. Sony has an incredible variety of formats that you can shoot in the video mode. The highest spec being the 4K 60p slow motion. There's also a S&Q, a slow and quick mode they call it, where you can set the frame rate so you can do time lapses, like 1 frame per second, up to 120 frames per second. I used that. I learned a lot. Maybe I'll talk about that more in depth on another day. I think it's getting into the weeds a little too much, but the video yeah, it looks great. There's some shots that were not perfect, but there's some shots that when you look at them on the Sony 4K TVs, pretty incredible. For a, you know, it's a camera that's not really a video camera. It's made to take photos primarily. But the video that comes out of it is pretty stunning. So I am all about that. I think with a red camera or Blackmagic, you can get obviously the raw data and use different lenses, and you get it even more amazing footage and cinematic look. But for the practical purpose of having a camera that, you know, fits in a little chest pack like this, pretty amazing what you can get out of it. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I'm on my way to central Hokkaido for a cat tour today. And I will be at the gallery on the 19th. If you have any chance to visit, I will be doing 2 talk shows talking about the videos and the photos, basically saying all the stuff I said now. So if you're happy with what you heard now, you don't have to come. But if you want to stop by and say hi, I'll be there on the 19th, and then I will be there on the 23rd for what they call a Hanbai Sodankai, which is you can like reserve a time slot to come and talk to me in the store, and I can advise you on what camera to buy. This is something they do every time with the gallery and the people who do the exhibitions. It's new to me, but I said, yeah, I'll do it, whatever. And I will be there all day on the 23rd. They have 4 time slots, and I will be putting on my Sony name tag, and like, I will be spieling the spiel, man. I will be selling cameras. Buy it, buy it, buy it, buy it. Buy a whole bunch of cameras. So they asked me to do the exhibition again, hopefully next time in Tokyo, Ginza. That's the big one. That is like the next stage for me. I gotta be honest with you. I love a good fight. And I feel like, I'm like, when I felt like I was getting in the ring for, like, you know, I'm gonna go beat up some other photographers. No, I mean, that sounds bad, but I don't want this to end with just this show. I'm obviously wanting to do this again. This is kind of now rather interesting and fun. And the next stage would be to take this kind of concept and take it to Tokyo. Obviously a larger stage, more people. That is their flagship store for the entire Sony universe. Sapporo store is great. I love the staff there. I love the store. They're great. But obviously Tokyo would be the bomb. So look forward to the support. I will be selling the photos. I cannot sell them at the gallery there because they do not allow that. They don't allow like direct sales while you're there. You can't put like a price on them. But I will figure out a way. I think I'll make a little website and I'll announce it somehow. And there will be the opportunity to buy some of the prints. There's a couple there that I think would be really nice on somebody's wall. Really, just a nice winter, Hokkaido winter, the essence of Hokkaido winter views. Okay, I just can't stop talking. Drive safe.
If you like to drive around and talk about the latest happenings, this is the channel you need. So subscribe and follow Carmentary.